Welcome to my show, simply entitled Women Influencers, where you will find inspirational stories of successful women in business. I am Veronica Malolas, CCIM, founder and CEO of the Capstrata Group of companies, providing commercial real estate development, brokerage, and property management services in the greater Orlando area. Today's guest is Dana Williams, founder of Dana Williams Consulting and author of the book Internal Revolution, a conversation you do not want to miss. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe below. I welcome your comments and please share with someone who can benefit from this podcast. Hi, Dana. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Oh, I'm so thrilled to have you. I know you're in Texas. I'm in Orlando. So if you don't mind, I want to just dive right in and ask
Absolutely.
you about your story, how you grew up in your environment and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, well, thank you. Great question. And one I love to talk about because I spend a lot of time with my clients going back and saying, let's look back and see what was your life like in the last, from birth to now, and what do you want to keep and what do you want to let go of? And I look back at my life and my mom was always very entrepreneurial, but she worked at a TV station. She was always busy working, but she was busy doing some things that no other moms were doing. None of
Mm.
my other friends' moms worked. And so think of this was in the 60s. This was the Mad Men era, right? My dad was a salesman. I have middle two sisters, and she was home for the first, probably till I was about 5 or 6. And then after that, she was always working. And it was hard, but it was also kind of cool later on when I became a teenager that, oh, my mom is this vice president of this market. She became vice president. She went from TV into ad agency days and became a vice president of broadcast. And she produced the first Southwest Airlines commercial with the lady come walking down the runway, and there's pictures of my mom at 32 laying on the runway, with the camera, directing the shots. And so I was always exposed to her doing some really creative things, but I didn't know what it really meant. Underneath all of that, Veronica, I realized she was also kind of hiding from the fact that she wasn't happy in her marriage. And she was being very busy about doing something she loved, but at the same time, she was really taking care of herself. And she was a great mom, but she always encouraged us to go out and just don't compare yourself and go do what you want to do. So fast forward, my mom is now 89, and at 80, she went back and decided to get her degree.
Wow.
And so she got a degree in screenwriting and also in liberal arts. She was the oldest student at SMU here in Dallas and got tons of press and all that she went through college during COVID, and people just couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh no, I'm not surprised. But she had this talent of learner. She wanted to continue to learn. And she got married so early and had us girls so early that she felt like she never got to get her degree, even though she excelled in the workplace and as a career. So I grew up with that. It was happy, sad because I didn't have a mom at home, but yet she taught me kind of how to do both and was always encouraging me. My dad, they later got divorced, and that while that was hard, I saw her continue to bloom and get in the right places. She's been remarried 30 years now, is happily married, and my dad has since deceased. But so that was kind of my growing up years. Very ready to work, ready to get out there and change the world is what she kind of set the environment for us. Um, I went to college, met my husband. We've been married for over 40 years. We met, I was like really young in college, and he was my first blind date. And from there, he got into real estate, and I got into Southwest Airlines and joined Southwest Airlines. And I worked first in flight and then in hiring and training. And then I worked in marketing most of my career there. But that's where I learned about how do you build a culture? How do you connect and build a customer service business? We just happened to have airplanes. We were in the customer service business. And then I got all of my leadership training there from incredible leaders. And it was an amazing time. And I did that till I was probably, my daughter at that point was 13. I said, you know what? My mom worked my whole career. I'm going to stop working. So this was another pivot moment. And I stopped working at Southwest. It was really hard to walk away what I loved doing, but I knew I needed to be with her. And so I was with her all of her teenage years, started a Christian school here in Dallas, worked on branding, did a lot of nonprofit things during that time. And then I went back to Southwest when she was in college, walked back into the same office, same title. 9 years later, it was crazy. I was like, okay,
Wow.
but everything was different, and my marriage was different at that time. And I was like, we're almost lost our marriage. My husband had cancer, and we were in the middle of 2008, which was the financial crisis. So I came back to work, but I could feel that something wasn't right. And that's when I was learning that I was trying to people please things, control things, and really just be codependent with all the things going on. So I went into a deep dive on working on myself. And that's what I've been spending a lot of time with right now, is helping leaders transform from the inside out, because I got to do that.
I am so touched, well, sort of, um, really impacted by your story about your mom. I don't know whether you realize, but most of your story was about your mom, and
Yeah,
she shaped you as a mature adult, and you kept going back to the fact that she wasn't happy in her marriage, and just immersed herself in her work, and then later on, really just being happy for discovering who she really is, and allowing herself to be herself. and,
that's right.
and I think that took shape in your life as well.
It did. It did. And now my daughter is an entrepreneur, and it's funny to watch them mentor each other. And a lot of reverse mentoring going on between all of our generations.
Well,
So
and I
it's
love
really
that.
fun. Yeah, it's
and,
really fun.
and especially in the microcosm of a family that has a lot of female influence, or who take up space, right? So
Right.
that's really, really cool. So
Yeah.
let me ask you about a challenge that comes to mind that you overcame, that could be a source of inspiration for anybody listening out there. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So it was daughter at college, husband, marriage not going well at all. Him also very sick with cancer. And I was like, who am I? And what am I supposed to be doing with my life right now? And I was back at Southwest and I was doing my thing, but I really, you had that feeling like you've reached success, but something just felt off. And so I went on this deep dive to really go work on myself. And while I was working on myself, he was working on himself, and we restored our marriage in an amazing way. And it wasn't overnight. So I tell people out there right now struggling, don't think you're going to solve anything in just a program or overnight. It takes time. We're organic humans. It's like planting a seed and then keep pulling it up. You got
Mhm.
to plant it and water it and grow it, and finding the journey of finding yourself. And I think I was doing some of those things I saw my mom do, was just being busy about being busy and working. But I really didn't know who I was authentically.
And I think you're one of the lucky ones, because in a marriage where one person is going through one thing and the
Hmm.
other is not, it's harder, I think, to kind of navigate through those things. And not that I would diminish what happened to your husband, but you were both going through those probably same thoughts, that you were thankfully able to restore your marriage.
Yeah, and it wasn't overnight. And I think it was the first thing I did was surround myself with people that wanted us to help keep our marriage together. I didn't get around anybody that was going to cause us to separate, because
Mm.
I knew this was a time and a place that we could, if we both wanted to work on it, we could work on it. Once I knew he wanted to work on it, but he also had to work on the cancer, and he had to work on the finances. And it was like, oh my gosh, which one are we working on? And so we kind of had to like say, let's get the health thing figured out. Then we'll continue to work on our marriage individually and together. And it took about 5 years to do all that. The year long of the cancer thing was fine, and he's fine now. But the finances and all that took some time. But the organic healing of a marriage, because you both bring in things from your childhood, right? And he had parents that had addictions, and I had parents that had different, not alcohol, but addiction to work, and so they kind of manifest themselves in the same thing. And that works. That is usually codependency and people pleasing and control. You want to control things because you can't control anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. If there's one thing that I've discovered myself and also taught my children and my husband and I remind each other of is that
Hmm.
he's in control of anything.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I wanted to ask you about influence.
Yes.
One outcome that you're most proud of that you had an impact on, what would that
Wow.
be?
There's so many, I think, internally, finding my unique self and using that, and now using that every day. I think that has been a gift. And it was over time of doing all the work. But I think now sharing this in the workplace and helping leaders transform their lives. I have a leader, actually, it's in my book, but he was in an addict. He was an addict. He was heroin addict, living in his car,
Hmm.
went to a recovery center. He decided he wanted to stay there after he came out of recovery and be a leader, but he had never been a leader before.
Hmm.
So they asked me to come in and work with him with I train in strengths, Clifton strengths, and help people you find their unique talents, right? That's one of the tools I use. And I was working with him, and just to watch him go from he just didn't believe in himself as a leader, and helping him see his unique talents and then use that, because we do talents, then we do core values and mission, and then emotional recognition. It's a formula I use. He's thriving now. He just got promoted again. And that is the imprint we talk about, is what is that imprint we're leaving on others. So to me, it's kind of like setting up little campfires, and you're just lighting them, and you're helping people find their unique self and living that every day. And I got to do that. My husband got to do that. And now we help others. We do that with marriage ministry, but we do it. I do it with my business with leaders.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that kind of impact is a true telling of how someone like you and your company can really reshape someone for the better. And that's an amazing story. So let me ask you, Dana, if there was one piece of advice that you would give our audience today, what would that be?
So again, I would say you don't need to be more productive. You just need to be more you. So many times we're just busy about being busy. We're living our day in default and not by design. And my goal is to help people live by design and their uniqueness, not somebody else's plan for them.
And I love that because it's about being intentional.
Yes.
But getting to the point of being intentional is a process.
Right.
And that's why people like you are so impactful, and companies like yours could really help reshape those that are out there seeking to do that but not knowing how. So
Right.
that's pretty amazing. Well, Dana, we've come to the point of our interview where you get to ask me a question. So please go ahead.
Yes. Well, thank you for your podcast. My question for you is, what is the authentic imprint? I like to talk about authentic imprint that you're leaving on people that you get to touch every day in what you do. How would you describe your authentic imprint?
So, one of my core values is altruism. And, it's really understanding and deep in the core of who I am is knowing that there are bigger and greater things than me. And so, for instance, when in my business, I want to make sure that people feel that I have a sense of community,
Mm, mm,
that anything that we do doesn't just touch the person or the transaction, but instead it should create this ripple,
mhm,
someone else or maybe the community. And that's really how I operate, not just as a person, but as the founder and CEO of my own company, and how that's one of the core values that is important to me and my company, because it's really who we are. It's not about it's not about just instant gratification or instant success, and that it's all about us, right? It's all about everybody else is what it is. So that would be my short answer to your question, which is very apropos and certainly appreciate. But Dana, if people in my audience wanted to know how to connect with you, and I know you have a book, you can talk about that as well. Tell us how they will find you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, LinkedIn is a great way to get connected with me personally, and it's just Dana Williams Consulting. And then I have a website called danawilliamsco.com. So reach out to me there. We do have a book launching, and I'm very excited about this book. It's 5 years of probably 17 years of recovery work of working on me, and then 5 years of all the content I've shared with leaders in the workplace, things that I learned at Southwest, things that I learned in my own work about discovering your own authenticity. So it's called Internal Revolution. Lead authentically and build your personal brand from within. So, and we have that on my website. You can also get it on Amazon, and look forward to um, sharing all this information that I learned that I didn't see out in the workplace. So I'm excited about it.
And it's really very exciting that, and this is your first book, or
My
you have
first
another
book. Yeah.
first book? Is there
Yes.
another book that's in
Oh my
the?
gosh. I told my editor, I said, oh my gosh, I'm hungry for the next one. I'm hoping to probably have more of a daily. I do have a daily journal that Gallup certified me for. And
Oh,
the only daily journal that is where you can use your strengths every day. And I found this helped me live intentionally every day. So I have that also. But that was my first kind of step. This is my first, big book. So I'm excited about it. But I don't know what's next is what the clients want, and they're needing daily. We all need something daily. It's not, oh, I've taken this program and I'm great now. No, it's how can I have that community and accountability daily? So that's what I'm about.
yeah, I love it. I love it. And so again, it's Dana Williams Consulting.
Right.
And we're really so grateful to have you today. It's always wonderful to talk to another woman entrepreneur who has this ability to reach and impact other people. I think that's really key in this ecosystem of women leaders and success, and by sharing that, I think hopefully it will help other women who to keep going.
Keep going and get yourself around people. They're going to help you be your best. I talk about that virtual webinar. Get people in your circle, a virtual table that will help you. And I'm telling you, it is golden. So I'm so thrilled of what the work you're doing, and I appreciate you having me here today. It's been really fun.
No, thank you, Dana. And I wish you all the very best. And for everybody else out there, we have links down there in the content portion of our episode. So we're going to say we are grateful to you and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.